I'm Maddie. I'm a 2010 Corps member in SLA. I teach at Livonia High School, 9th grade civics and free enterprise. So as a different way to assess our kids throughout the semester and at the end of the semester, me and a few other Corps members who teach the same subject are thinking of doing a semester-long project that breaks up each unit in the civics curriculum and kind of the culmination of everything they learn all semester long. In addition to taking their final, they'll have this end of the year project they work on. So what it is, it's a country project. And the students will be broken up into groups, and each group is going to make their own country. Obviously at the beginning, before we even start our units, they'll have to come up with the basics, their country name, their flag, where they are in the world, the geography of their country, basic stuff that has nothing to do with civics. After that, in each unit, they're going to be pulling certain things from the unit to put into their country project. The end goal, what we're going to kind of push them towards, is during the week before finals. Also, it's a good way to review, do they know what they need to know? The week before finals, the classroom will become their country. So for the 54 minutes that I have them in my room, it's only the land of walls, if their country is called that. When we come into class, they automatically go up in whatever form of government they decide. They're going to talk about their government, go over the basics with like a flag they've made, have a map. They need to kind of run through the basics of the style of their government. Do we have a democracy, a dictatorship, theocracy? What do we have up here? Then they'll have to have made an index card for every student in the classroom, including myself, that gives a breakdown of who we are, make up a name, a person, a serf, whatever we are in their country, and a little bio. For the next 20 minutes, we all need to act and stay in character as if we were that person. After the 20 minutes, everyone's kind of comfortable with who they are, we're interacting, whether it's like they're in a mercantilism system or it's communism, whatever they decide. The teacher will then give them a scenario. Let's say somebody attacks you. Well, hopefully in their constitution or their laws they've gone through, what are they going to do in case of this scenario. The students won't know about the scenario before it happens. Then they need to quickly advise the people on what they're going to do. This is kind of testing, does their government work? What do you have to have for government in order to work? For example, if somebody attacks and they have a democracy, they can't just say, all right, all the men, you go fight. That's not the way democracy works. That's not in their constitution. So it's going to work for some, but it's not going to work for others. They won't be graded on that. They'll be graded on how well they present everything. So each day will be a different group's presentation. So for example, from Unit 1, those are government systems. So after we learn our Unit 1 and take our Unit 1 assessment, the next day is a work day. On that work day, they're meeting with their groups and they're picking what type of government will they have, what system, how do we see that, what's each person's role in that system. Also, Unit 1 is services provided. Will they have Medicare, Medicaid, type of things, or people on your own, do what you're going to do. The next unit is philosophers. So we'll talk about Locke and Rousseau and Voltaire. Are they using any of their own ideas? Or are they making up new philosophers and pretend this person lived 4 billion years ago and thought of this? Unit 3, that's the longest unit in civics, and that's the Constitution. They need to come up with their Constitution. It needs to be all written down. It can be modeled after our own. It can be modeled after in other countries. Unit 4 is citizen participation. What can the people do? Can the people vote? No. Are the people being taxed? And so on and so forth. How do you change the Constitution? Can people change it? Unit 5 is rights and responsibilities. So that would be like our Bill of Rights. Do the people in their country have rights, or is it just kind of do what we say? All these things will be in those scenarios that we give them during their final presentations, so they can kind of see, like, this is why the United States has this is why it works, this is why it doesn't work, this is why China operates this way, and so on and so forth.
So, why did you come up with this idea? Like, why did you decide to have this to be your goal for your kids and not something just like striving towards like 80% on this, like on this test or something like that?
Well, when I sat down with the 2 other Corps members and we kind of talked about where we wanted our kids, the other content areas I teach 8th grade, so there's a statewide assessment. In the 9th grade, with the civics class, there is nothing. So we still have made their finals, there's some sort of formative assessment, but then we wanted kind of a fun way to really see, and especially civics. Civics is boring on paper. It's boring to sit down and like, okay, democracy means this. Yes, that's basics, you need to know that, but it's fun to kind of take it into a whole new way. So this way you can actually see what works and what doesn't. Why does it seem like our government has so many laws, so many rules, so many people in charge? Why can't we do what we want to? So it's an easier way for the kids to see, which is useful especially for our students who may not go on to be politicians, but they may be arrested, or they may have a friend who gets arrested. Why are there laws that prohibit them from doing those things?
So what is like your ultimate vision for your kids after leaving? So they leave, you know, they do extremely well on their formative assessment, like they do extremely well on this project. Like, what is it that what is your ultimate vision for your kids this year?
After they leave me, kind of move on? Like after
or through your class?
I think through my class, at least the school-wide level, you hear kids complain about, why can't we have cell phones? Why can't we do this? And they don't see the grand scheme of things, which you can take as a school vision, you can take as like their parish rules, their state rules. They don't see, there's no concern for everyone else around them. They don't see why we have to have these rules, why things have to operate this way, why you have to have someone in charge of something, why there needs to be consequences for your actions. And I think doing a project this way, they can see that, okay, so maybe I don't like this rule, maybe I hate to wear my seatbelt, but why should I? Things like that. My ultimate vision for the kids is to just kind of be aware of the world around them and kind of where they stand and why it is the way it is, why it works this way, or why it doesn't work this way.
Excellent. Any last thoughts?
No, I don't. It's great. I want you to try it.
All right. Well, we will be catching up with Maddie and how this progress, how her kids and this project's going through, like the first weeks and first few months of school. Thank you, Maddie.
Thank you.